Welcome to Because You Asked. I'm Bernie Nussbaum. Continuing our series of Ask the Ambassador, we're sitting down with Danny Ayalon, former Israeli ambassador to the United States, also at the UN, former deputy foreign minister, and member of Knesset. Danny, thanks for coming back.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
So let's talk about the PA hating on Americans, especially the representatives of the President of the United States. Nikki Haley at the UN, as you know, has been a very strong supporter and friend of Israel, both publicly in the forum and every time she's in front of a camera. And in response to her forthright statements about fairness, she was told specifically that she should shut up. And that came from the Palestinian Authority.
Yeah.
To make matters worse, the American ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, was pronounced to be the son of a dog.
فريدمان قال هنا هم يبنون في أرضهم ابن الكلب يبنون في أرضهم وهو مستوطن,
Which is a very bad insult in Arabic, and he is the representative to that area. And going forward, how can the United States consider the Palestinian Authority any sort of peace process partner or anyone to negotiate with so much disdain for America?
Well, first of all, Barry, we should understand the main point here. The main point here is that Abu Mazen, under a little pressure, shows his true colors. And the true colors is that he is racist, that he is anti-Semitic, and that he is not ready for peace, quite the opposite. And by calling David Friedman, who is a Jewish guy, a son of a dog, it goes directly to what the Arabs and the extreme Muslims say, including Hamas. They say Jews are sons of pigs and sons of dogs.
كذلك القردة وخنازير وهم أحفاد القردة والخنازير هكذا علمنا القرآن.
So this is exactly his meaning. What he means to say is about Friedman. Very demeaning, very derogatory, very arrogant from his point of view.
So subhuman.
Absolutely. And it shows the Palestinian Authority, just like Hamas, is not ready for peace. They just use different tactics, where Hamas is using missiles and bombs and use children as human shields. The Palestinians basically are conducting a political warfare of incitement, of blood libels against Israel, using just the same tactics of the Nazi propaganda minister Goebbels, the same thing. But when it comes to terror, it's not that they are against it, and we see it that every terrorist that comes from the Palestinian Authority is not only being glorified, but being paid. And the more Jews these terrorists kill, the better money, the more money and better salary him and his family gets.
So we talk about pay for play all the time, and that's the Taylor Force Act, which we're going to talk about. But as of now, with so much disrespect for the two representatives of the United States, how can the United States treat the Palestinian Authority with any kind of civility, let alone have a communication when they think so badly of us in America?
Well, again, it shows how the Palestinians never are grateful. Actually, they are ungrateful. They've been very ungrateful to anybody who supported them in the past. Tried to topple the Jordanian regime, the Lebanese regime, anywhere they go, the Kuwaiti regime, siding with Saddam Hussein back in the early 90s. They bite the hand that feeds them. The United States gives more money than any other country for the Palestinian Authority budget. And by trying to disassociate themselves from the Americans, it's just it's ridiculous. They cannot do it. There is no substitute to American involvement and leadership in any political arrangement in the Middle East. They know it, and the reason he's trying to shun the United States goes again to what we say: he does not want peace. So he's just using it as a pretext to avoid making any compromise. So far, if you have, if you analyze since '93, this famous Oslo until now, it was only Israel who made compromises. If we started, in a great distance between the two starting positions, Israel now moved all the way, 99% towards the Palestinians. They didn't move an inch. So because he understands that the Trump administration is much more realistic than former administrations who did not succeed with bringing about peace, and it will never succeed by putting the onus on Israel and not also on the Palestinians. Israel is not the only one that has to make compromises, and we are willing, and we have made compromises, but the Palestinians will also have to do the same. He is not ready for it, so he's saying the US is not a partner, it's not an honest broker, so he can continue his policies of rejection, of supporting terrorism, and denying the Jewish state's inalienable right to exist. This is what he teaches his children in schools.
Got it. Thanks, Danny. Thanks for joining us on Because You Asked. You can always write to me at barry@americantruthproject.org, and if you have a question for the ambassador, send it to me. I'll make sure he sees it.